Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Cave After Hours podcast. Here's your host, the one and only, the inimitable, Josh Havens.
What's up, and welcome to the Cave After Hours podcast, the one and only podcast recorded right here in my Chicago Bears fan cave. On this podcast, we talk about my team, the Chicago Bears, NFL. We also take a tour of some of the coolest fan or man caves out there, along with speaking with the owners to see what fuels their passion of their fan or man caves. We talk to super fans about of the Bears or any other team. Talk about life, you name it. The No Holds Barred podcast. I want to take time to thank our sponsor, the Mini Jumbotron Company. As you know, I have my very own Chicago Bears Jumbotron in my cave. It's a head-turner conversation piece and easily one of the coolest things I got going on in here. If you don't know what a Mini Jumbotron is, go to their website, minijumbotron.com, hit that shop tab, take a look at their impressive lineup, pick the build that best suits you and your area. Also on the website, you can create your own graphics, purchase accessories, or even buy the DIY plans if you're adventurous enough to build one of these yourself. Do me a favor, once you're there, go to the promo code area, type in the cave. That's going to save you some money, 10% on your build. And that's anything you get on the site. And anything we get from that 10% is going to go back towards our podcast. On this episode, we got my buddy Trey, all the way from Texas, big Bears fan, a collector of Bears items. He also has this cave in the garage with a little twist on it. So let's go out and talk to Trey. I think I actually found him on a hashtag or something one time, but then I started following his cave and pretty impressed. So I always get excited when I get to talk to a fellow Bears fan because we get to talk that mess and then talk about his cave because he's got a unique cave and he does some stuff on the side we're going to talk about too. So anyways, meet my friend Trey Brown. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what you got going on, man, in life.
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is Trey Brown. Like Josh said, I'm retired military. That's how I got to Texas. Been a Bears fan forever, since I remember. My granddad was a Bears fan. My dad's a Bears fan. And I'm a Bears fan. I have two grandsons. They probably gonna be Bear fans too.
Perfect.
So yeah, man. I do woodwork on the side. Started off being like pretty much a therapy for PTSD, and it just kind of went to what it is right now.
Okay. So you're talking about like military PTSD and
Yep. I have 4 combat tours, and that stuff kind of wears on you a little bit. So what I started doing was trying to figure a way to keep myself busy.
Okay.
And man, woodworking is became a ticket for me.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate guys like you that do that kind of stuff for the veterans and everything. My dad was a veteran, so
okay, good deal.
He was actually in Vietnam, so
oh wow,
I know he went through some stuff at the end of that, and it wasn't counseling wasn't quite as accepted as it is nowadays. I don't think back then it was more of being a prideful kind of dealing with what you got to go through. I mean, you could probably speak on that better than me.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing that I was a non-commissioned officer, so I had soldiers, and when you have soldiers, it's kind of hard for you to do things in the way the military don't want you to do them. And that's the best way to say, because being in the military in itself is something that's thought to be tough. And if you're seeking help, that seems you're less tough.
Right.
But if you don't seek help, and I'll be honest with you, man, I'm kind of a victim of this. If you don't seek help, it doesn't do anything but get worse. And a lot of times what I found out was other people see these things, but you don't. Because it becomes natural, it becomes like an everyday thing, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, fighting those demons is tough. But like I said, man, I found a way to help myself in fighting demons, and it just became woodworking, man. And I started out making picture frames, and that's really where I started. I started like kind of just doing small things just to kind of keep my hands busy. And then it just kind of I started doing different things, and just started trying new things. And then I started accepting more challenges. What really, man, it helped me out a lot, man. And
right.
I employ a lot of my battle buddies, man. They go shoot a lot. And I think shooting is counterintuitive, if you ask me. I like to shoot too, but it's kind of like I try to, I shoot to stay sharp, not for therapy.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you think it's more? I mean, you were obviously in the military with over 20 years, or 20 years exactly, or?
I got retired early because of combat related injuries.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did 14 years. I did 14 years. Yeah.
Do you think it's more accepted now, like the the help for the PTSD than it was back then, like when you were coming up, or?
I think so. I think it is because right now it's not seen as like I want to say taboo, or it's not seen as being weak because it's such like I think it's like anything in society, right? Once it's seen in a big scope of things, it's not like as a shock anymore. So I
Right.
think you'll find more veterans now. If they're not seeking help while they're in, they're definitely seeking help while they get out.
Okay.
It's just that like you might have they call them toxic leaders. You might be in a unit with toxic leaders that look at you like you're weak if you get help, but they're getting help. You just don't know they are.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You
It's
get
not
what
like
I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not something you're gonna talk about probably anyway. So,
that's right.
Are you from Chicago or
I am
originally?
born and raised on the far south side, 123rd Michigan.
Okay.
I'm a Chicago guy through and through. But when I was in the military, I had kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, my kids are settled in here and down here in Texas, so I didn't want to when I retired, I didn't want to take them up and move them because they've
Right.
been with they are military kids, so they've been here their whole lives or in the military their whole lives. So I didn't want to disrupt that. So we bought a house down here in Texas. I live right next to Fort Hood or Fort Cavazos now.
Okay.
And yeah, I got good relationship with some of my battle buddies, great relationship with friends, and I talk crap to these Cowboy fans all the time, man. There's so many of them around here. And at one point, like your man cave, right? At one point, I used to have because this is a two-car garage,
Oh, is it? I
and
thought it was a basement for some reason.
nah, man, we don't have basements here.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Okay.
Nah, we don't have basements here, and because you probably think it's a basement because of the lighting.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't
exactly.
I don't open the door anymore now. Probably about 4 years I haven't had the door open. But prior to
Okay.
that, people used to walk past and they look in and then, hey, can we come over? Yeah, come on in, man, check it out. And there was a
Right.
lot of Dallas fans and Dallas fans and stuff. It's hilarious, but uh, yeah, man, it's like to me, it's like it's I don't even want to say safe space because when we watching the Bears, it ain't safe.
No, no, exactly.
So I would
Yeah.
say it's like it's not a safe space, but it's a space that you feel comfortable watching games. You know what I mean? If that's the
Right.
best way to
Yeah.
put it. Yeah.
Good deal. And so when you were growing up in Chicago, I know you know how the crime is there now. And
Yeah.
was it real prevalent when you were growing up in Chicago, like it is now? Like, I mean, I think they got a murder a day or a shooting a day at least for like the last several years.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
A little funny thing about that is when I was growing up in Chicago, the crime was about the same.
Okay.
Uh, except let me give my disclaimer.
Okay.
Nobody should die for any reason. You
Right.
know what I mean? I don't think people should just go around killing each other for any reason. But like when I was growing up, they kill you, shoot you literally for a reason. Like it'd be a girl or money. It was one or the other.
Right.
Now it seems like the younger generation they kill for clout and they kill for attention.
Right.
Uh, and I said this to my nephew. He's the gangbanger, live in Chicago. I've been trying to get him to come to Texas for a long time to just hang out with me. And
Right.
I told him, real gangsters move in silence, man.
Yeah.
You know where I'm coming
Absolutely. Yeah.
from? They move in silence, and it took a lot to catch John Gotti, man. And you know how many murders
Right.
that dude probably was involved with?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A
A
lot, a
lot.
lot. So those guys did things, and gangsters, real gangsters, do things tactfully. Uh, Knuckleheads do things just to do it, man, and they don't care who's around.
Right.
I remember hearing a story about John Gotti, man. He had sent a hit out on somebody, and they messed around and killed the wrong person, and he had him killed.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like again, the disclaimer is nobody should die for nothing. I don't think
Right.
anything in this world is worth dying over except your family.
Right.
And
Exactly.
uh, so the crime rate has been the same in Chicago forever, man. That's why it is what it is. Just like New York,
Right.
L.A., Chicago, Houston, Detroit.
Yeah.
Those cities been the same for as long as I'm 53. So as long as I can remember, they've been the same. The difference between now and then is phones.
Right.
You, you
Exactly.
know, you you're getting your information very, very, very quickly now. And back in those days, like a rumor in your neighborhood was spread because somebody told you, and you told somebody, and that's how it spread around. Now they on Twitter, and so things happen very, very rapidly now.
Right.
Not saying that it happens more, but it definitely happens faster. I would say that.
Right. So I want to get into your woodworking because I actually got one of your pieces, which I
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate
And
that. Yeah.
I put it right. That's the first thing, one of the first things you see when you walk in the cave. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
So do you do it just as a hobby, or do you sell the stuff, or like how do you got that going on?
So it's oddly enough, what happens is this right here, man. And I think it's part of my therapy is I'll make something
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll make it again and again and again until I kind of perfect it. And once I get it to a point where I think it's perfected, that's when people see it and start trying to buy it.
Okay.
Hey, can you make me one of those? Do I advertise? No, I don't advertise anything I sell.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's just that it's word of mouth that people want to get. Like I did this a Thor hammer. I don't know if you could see it. It's back over here.
Okay.
And when I first did it, I made it out of pine, and then I found some really, really nice, cool wood, and did some stuff to it. I made this Thor hammer that's up on my mantle right there,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had offers. Somebody want to buy it, and I'm like, nope. How much you sell
Right.
it for? I was like, I wouldn't sell it. And then I told somebody, I said, you know what? I sell it for $500. And the reason
Uh-huh.
I say that is because nobody gonna give me $500 for it, but so
Right.
it sits there. But I made a couple for Masons. I think they use those for some type of ritual they do. I don't know what they use them for, but I
Right.
made a few for some Mason guys. I made a few for I made one for a judge.
Okay.
So a lot of my stuff is word of mouth. Now, oddly enough, I started woodworking. The first thing I built were picture frames. My son was playing baseball. I said, you know what? Let me try to make a baseball bat.
Right.
So I made a baseball bat, and then it went from making one to making 1,000.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I really made I had a business called Zeus Bat Company. So I made baseball bats like all the time for people, and
Okay.
now it's kind of slowed down a little bit because for some reason I don't like advertising because to me, once it become work, I don't want to do it anymore.
Right. Yeah,
So if
exactly.
somebody asks me to make them something, I'll make it, but I don't want to do it in mass production,
Right.
because I'm by myself. I got a table saw here, I get all type of woodworking tools. But since it's therapeutic to me and not about financial gain, I kind of like if somebody come to me and say, "Hey, can you make me this?" I'll do it, but I don't do it for a business. It's just I won't do it because it becomes work.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get
You
that,
know,
man. I didn't know if you're running a business or if you just.
nah,
I know honestly you advertise a lot, but I'm really impressed. Like especially with
yeah,
your chest. Those chessboards are sweet too
oh
that I've
yeah,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now
I
it
mean,
has. I tag a name to things because people identify with names.
right.
So I call my woodworking Bullets 32 Woodworks. Bullets
Okay.
32 is my call sign from combat.
Okay.
So my battle boys, hey Bullets, or Brown will call me by my last name or whatever. But Bullets 32 is my combat call sign. So that's
Okay.
why I call things that I do Bullets 32.
Okay.
And will I sell stuff? Yes, I've done over here. I have 10 chessboards I put together. Cubs, Bears, Cowboys, Sixers, Eagles, bunch of them over here. Because when I make one,
Okay.
I don't make just one. I make a bunch. If I make a chess set, there'll be 20 of them lined around the room
Oh wow.
in different stages because that's how my
Right.
mind works. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
build stuff. Now, if somebody say, "Hey man, do you have an Eagles one?" Yeah, I got one. Or do you have
Right.
this? Yeah, I got one. Or like that. But as far as like just business oriented selling, I don't do that because I don't. That's just not what I do. Now, could I start a business? A lot of people ask me, "Hey man, you should go to Etsy. You should do this." But again, it feels like it'll become work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Then
mean, I
you
want to
get
do this when I want to do it, not when I have to.
right. It's kind of counterproductive, I guess, if you start doing it for work and then you start getting swamped, and then all of a sudden you got the stress of trying to keep up with orders and everything. So
That's it.
yeah, I get
That's
it, man.
exactly it. That's exactly it. So a lot of times I do things off challenge too. Like when you send me that picture, I had just actually started doing the thing that I sent you. I just started doing. I did my own up here,
Okay.
and I made it 3D. So I was like, yo, I'm following your page and stuff, and I was like, you know what? You should let me make one for you.
Yeah. I was
And then
down
when
with
you
it too. I
send,
was like,
yeah, yeah. So when you sent me the picture, I was like, yeah, I could do that. So I've made quite a few of those just out of. I'm looking around here. I've made quite a few of those things just out of. People say, "Hey man, I saw this on TikTok. Man, can you make me one?" Sure, just send me the artwork and I'll make it. You know,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that's very cool. I love that. Yeah, I love that stuff that you got going on there. Let's talk about the Bears, man. So
Okay.
obviously we know you're a fan because you come
Right.
from Chicago. You've been a
Right.
Chicago fan all your life. And do you get the games anymore in the
I
Soldier
do.
Field at all?
I do. We actually had to. Now I go to games every year.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I go to at least one game every year. I go watch the Bulls, White Sox, and Bears every year.
Okay.
The Bulls sometimes come down to San Antonio, so I go check them out in San Antonio. the White Sox come, they play against the Houston Astros, and they play against the Texas Rangers. So I at least catch one or two, or might catch a game set.
Okay.
So, and then the Bears, I always come back to Chicago for the Bears because they don't play the Cowboys very often. So I always come back home to watch the Bears, whether it be preseason or regular season, whichever. I just want to get a game.
Do you still got family in there that around
I
that
do.
area?
My whole family is in Chicago.
Okay, yeah. So when you get there, you get to catch up with everybody there too, huh?
Man, I'm eating food. Matter of fact, my wife is in there right now. Is doing a what do you call that? Not ground beef, Italian beef. She's in there right now making Italian beef right now as we speak. Yeah,
Nice.
Because she had to learn how to do it because we eat Chicago style food.
Right.
And they have a restaurant from Chicago down here in Dallas. We drive up there to eat there. What is it called? Portillo's.
Okay.
Portillo's, yeah. So we go to Dallas to eat at Portillo's sometime, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got one actually just down the road from here that built a few years ago, but yeah, we'll hit that up once in a while too. So what's your game day ritual like, man? So I know you see my cave, I got people over, I got the door open, and we're hitting it hard, especially when we're winning. But what do you got going on there, like food wise? I mean, what are you doing?
So food wise, we do Italian beef, we do Vienna beef, hot dogs, we do stuff like that. Our barbecue on the grill. And we started doing all this before the game, right?
Okay.
So then as the game come around, everybody comes out and they sit out here. You know, we got chairs, poker table here. We got chairs and stuff. So we all sit around here. So we normally have my whole family here. All my kids live here in Texas. Then I got buddies that come over and watch the game with us and stuff like that. So I just don't watch Bear games here. I watch Cowboy games, you know, or Texans. You know, whoever we get in here, we watch, but primarily the Bears.
Okay.
And I'm lucky that YouTube TV came along, or I'd be in trouble. We used to have NFL Ticket.
Right.
And then I think NFL Ticket, it just got ridiculous in price. You only use it 6 months out of the year.
Right, exactly.
And then we went to YouTube TV, which is the same thing as NFL Ticket, if you ask me. But it's a heck of a lot cheaper. Yeah. It's about the same thing.
Good. And so do you watch it in the cave there where you're at?
We do. Okay. And we have multiple TVs going at the same time because once something bad happens, my wife get up, she'll walk and go into the living room because she know I'm about to go off. But yeah, we sit out here and watch it, man. And it's comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's comfortable. And that's why we do it out here. We just, you know, because it's like comfort. You sit out here like you thought it was a basement, but it's not. It's actually a two-car garage. Yeah, it's a two-car garage.
So what do you got stat wise? So what do you got like TV wise? What you got going on?
I have I don't know if you can see them behind me right here, but I have 3 TVs.
Okay.
A 65 and 2 32s above it.
Okay.
So the 65 inch is what, you know, we primarily had the games on.
Right.
And then we're watching other things on that YouTube TV. And we're watching other games up there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so stereo wise, we have a Polk audio system in here, you know, some Bose connected to that also.
Cool. So you got a little set up that way you can, if you want to take in a couple games or not. So I know I like to watch the Packers on another TV next to me because I like to try to watch them lose.
Right.
So that's what I got going on because I'm rooting over here and I'm rooting on the other team too. So but what do you got what are your main collection things like? I mean, so you got jerseys, footballs, like you got a little bit of everything.
I have helmets behind me. I'll take the phone off and show you. I have helmets, full-size helmets back here. Most linebackers, and then I have jerseys, of course, autographed jerseys, 8x10s, 10x20s, some people that I met, Hall of Fame stuff up here. I think it's 60 or 70 mini helmets in there.
Okay.
Then I have all Duke footballs behind me, and then of course you could see the jerseys along the wall. Got a little bull section right there, and then then I don't know if you know what McFarland's are, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I have every McFarland.
You got a lot of those, don't you?
Yeah, I have every McFarland that the Bears produced or had.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
And that's something like I think, ironically enough, that's what I started collecting first.
Okay.
Was McFarland's, and then I kept getting McFarland's, and I'm like, well, I got all those. What am I gonna do next? Then I went to something else. Well, I got all those. What I'm gonna do next? And then so then I got into bobbleheads. And as a side, what I do on the side is, you know what brakes are, box brakes? Do you know
I think so, yeah.
Car brake? Yeah. So I actually get in box brakes. But what happens is if I don't win the Bears, I want the Bears. But if I don't hit the Bears, whatever I get, I end up putting it on eBay selling it. So I sell a lot of sports cards because I miss the Bears a lot. But Again, I'll get up and show you, but I have like cases of RPAs and mini helmets and a few. About last year, the year before that, I built a lady on Etsy sell actual helmets, mini helmets, but in the design of the pros. So not just the regular Rydell helmets you get out of a sports store, but I'm talking like the Rebel Speeds, the
Oh,
Speed
wow.
Flexes, the Z7s, all of that. She make them, and I
Oh,
bought
wow.
one because Justin Fields had it, and I actually did a helmet over here, a replica of Justin Fields mini helmet. I did one right there, and then let me get up here and I don't know if we can
Okay.
flip the camera around, but I know
Okay.
that's possible.
Try it.
Let me see here. Yeah, I ain't too smart on this, but so I just turn around like this.
Okay.
So over here are all the full size helmets right here.
Okay.
That's Roquan. I met Mike Singletary at that 100th year anniversary they had. He signed that for me. Then you got Dick Buckus. Leonard Floyd signed those pants at that same event.
Okay.
Autographed Devin Hester, Matt Forte. This artist right here that did this Walter Payton for me, he was on that TV show Tattoo Wars.
Okay.
And his name is Mike Tovar. He did that for me. I found a local artist to do this Justin Fields portrait for me. These things I'll never take off my wall, regardless of what
Right.
happened with Justin Fields. And here's that mini helmet, that Justin
Oh, that's
Fields
cool.
mini helmet right here.
Yeah, that's
If
neat.
you notice, it looks exactly like the helmet that he wears in games.
Yeah. You have to send me that Etsy link on that. I want to check that out.
Yeah, she's pretty good too. Took like a while. I think it took me probably 2 weeks to get it back, but it was well worth the wait.
Okay.
And then over here you got the bobbleheads. Again, I do a lot of work out here, so that's hence all the paint.
Right. Yeah. Still
Walter Payton
workshop.
up there, Devin Hester, all them guys, and 8x10s over here.
Nice.
My son played football at this college called Blinn. That's where Blinn University, Blinn College is where what's his name? Cam Newton went.
Okay.
And my son's roommate was DeAndre Jordan. You know, basketball player DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
His brother was my son's roommate in college.
Okay.
And that's him. And then you got Chuck Liddell. That light might be on that. Then you got Karl Malone right there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you got
Walter
a little bit of
Payton's
everything.
first and last Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
Right there. And then you have Charles Tillman. Hey, here's a weird thing. Charles Tillman dad lives right down the street from me.
Oh, really?
Like right down the street. I see him all the time, talk to him all the time. So whenever Peanut comes to town, hey, you need something? I'm like, no, man, I don't really need it. That man has signed so much stuff in here, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, he's probably tired of me.
Right.
So here are all my Hall of Famers.
Okay.
You got Gale Sayers, Mike Singletary, Dick Buckus, Brian Urlacher, Dan Hampton, and Mike Dicker right there. And then all the helmets. I think I said a 70 in there or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
You got all of the Bears from Super Bowl 20 right here.
Okay.
There's a Walter Payton cut card. I don't know how well you can see that, but
yeah, I can see it good.
And then over here you got now here, bro. Here's what's crazy. Every time I frame somebody, they get traded.
Really?
So where Mooney is over here, it used to be David Montgomery.
Okay.
Put David Montgomery up there, gone. So I put Mooney up there for the season, but he's gone. So
now he's gone.
So you got Devin Hester down there, Jim McMahon. I think I'm gonna keep this Justin Fields jersey up there just to prove a point.
Right.
And then you got all the Duke footballs. You got Mitch Trubisky, Jordan Howard, Matt Forte, Alshon Jeffrey. And then I got a bunch of rookies in there. Roquan, Montgomery, and Justin Fields rookies in there. Then over there, this missing spot here is DJ Moore's jersey is getting framed right now.
Okay, cool.
And you got Khalil Mack, Briggs. Down there, you got all of the Justin Fields. I really like those salute to the, it's called National Pride.
Yeah.
So I tried to collect all of the National Pride one. That's what those are down there.
Gotcha.
Yep, Super Bowl Shuffle album over there. It's more McFarland. And here's the cards I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you got quite a collection, man.
Yeah, RPAs and just about any. What I try to do is get all the rookies that the Bears draft.
Okay.
If you notice, it's like Khalil Mack rookie card ain't in there. You know, guys, if they didn't draft them, they're not in there.
Okay.
Yeah, only drafted picks, and then
only drafted players.
That's game worn jersey by Alshon Jeffrey's game worn jersey, and that's Brad Maynard's game worn jersey. then as you can see, all of the McFarlands right there.
Gotcha. Yeah, great collection, man. I love it.
Man, I appreciate you. And then a lot of times people ask me, what should a man cave have in it? This is a question that's often asked. You got to watch, you got to
Right.
have something to watch it on,
Exactly.
right? Then over here you got to have your drinks, right? Or a little bar maybe,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Right.
And then what I built is a custom poker table.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I built this
You guys play
probably
poker?
4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I built that. It's got all my favorite players on it. You don't have a Khalil Mack. You don't have Justin Fields. You don't have. There's a bunch of guys not on it because I built it like 4 years ago, and at that time, you didn't have Justin Fields or Khalil Mack or whatever.
Right. Looking good, yeah, man. I like the setup, man. A fellow garage, always like a fellow garage cave, man.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times what people do is like I've seen some really, really, really awesome man caves.
Right.
And I think you had a guy on from Dallas, and I was like, yo, that's bad, but I just don't have the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
if I lived up north, man, with a basement, man. But this is really cool for me because of what the size and what I have in it. So it's in this mind.
Yeah.
People. I don't really judge a man cave based on its size. I kind of base a man cave based on what's in it.
Right.
I met a guy at a convention once, and he's a Cubs fan.
Mm-hmm.
Lives in Chicago, out in Schaumburg. Oh, you probably seen his man cave. It's called Club 400 or something like that.
I think I've seen that. He's got the Cubs bar.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But like, this dude's a millionaire.
Right.
You got guys from the Cubs coming to sign stuff in your basement, bro. I don't have that. The closest I've had to that was Charles Tillman. You know what I mean? He stopped by one time and signed some stuff for me. But like, not to just like have people come down there, but it's really awesome. And the point I'm trying to make here is, you could have a man cave with that. You could have a man cave with some fat heads on the wall,
right?
With no autographs. Is your man cave?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some of us are just in a situation that we are able to kind of accumulate some of this stuff. And here's the weird thing about my whole man cave, bro. 95% of it I did not pay for.
Oh wow, dang.
No, it's like they're gifts.
Oh really?
It's all gifts.
Wow.
The only thing I paid for, I tell you, out there straight up, was the McFarland. That's straight up. I paid for all of that.
Okay.
I got these Leonard Floyd pants for $2 at that convention. Uh-huh. Did you go to the Bears convention?
No, I did not get there. No.
Okay, so at the 100th anniversary, they had at the 100th anniversary, right? They had this little booth called Care Bears booth, right?
Right.
I didn't know what it was. I was waiting on my son to get an autograph, so I'm sitting there bored. So I was like, man. So I seen this line. So I'm like, hey, if there's a line, something going on, right?
Right.
So I go stand in this line, and then the lady, she let I think she was letting 20 people in at a time. She said, you have 5 minutes to shop. After the 5-minute buzzer goes off, you go pay for your stuff. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what in the world is this?
Right.
So as I'm going around, I'm looking around. It's like $2. I pick up a sweatshirt, $2. I start picking stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, like, I got those pants. I got some gloves. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
So I get to the counter, and the lady is like ringing it up. She goes, give me $10. I mean, this is inside of the convention.
Wow.
And if anybody was there, they'll tell you exactly what I'm telling you. And so she said, do you have a bag? I said, I don't have a bag. She gave me a garbage bag. I put all this stuff in a garbage bag. I'm talking, I have the sweatshirts the Bears wore. You know that little sweatsuit there? I got it all in there, man.
Wow.
It's like a shirt with holes in it. I'm gonna take pictures of it now, and I'll send them to you on your Instagram.
All right, man.
But
Appreciate
so
it.
my son seen me standing there with this garbage bag. He said, "What'd you do?" I said, "Man, go get in that line." So him and my nephew goes to get in the same line. These jokers come out with more stuff than me because I was just trying to hurry up. They was in there just grabbing stuff. Here's the problem: we had flew up there and didn't have a way to get our stuff back.
Oh,
so
wow.
what we did was I went to the post office. As a matter of fact, we went to the post office first. They didn't have a box big enough, so then we went to UPS and we packed all that stuff in the UPS and sent it home to us.
Shipped it home. Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
Oh man, it was the coolest. That was a cool, very, very cool experience. Again, that's when they had Khalil Mack. They had Mr. Trubisky, Eddie Jackson for sure. I'm trying to think of the receivers they had. I can't think of who else they had, but it was that roster from that year prior to the
Okay,
100.
Allen Robinson and
Allen Robinson, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, Miller,
And
I
that
think.
was that was the roster that they had prior to that. You know what I'm saying? But it was a
Okay.
really, really. That's when they unveiled those uniforms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was there that night that they unveiled those 1932 uniforms or whatever with the
Okay.
stripes here.
Right, yeah.
Yep, I was there that day, that night, because it was a 4 day, is it like 3 or 4 day thing? And we
Right.
flew in and stayed out in matter of fact, we stayed out there next to the airport. And a buddy of mine lives in Chicago, we was going back and forth to the convention. Yeah, it was really a cool experience.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, this next segment I want to get into is called the overtime or the fifth quarter.
Buckle up, sports fans. Sit tight. Brace yourselves. It's time for overtime.
5 quick questions I want to ask you, okay?
All right.
So,
I got to have a second to think about it. You want me to blurt out
Yep.
next?
No, you could think. Go ahead. But if you had any other career besides the military, what would you have done?
I would have played professional baseball, because I played college baseball and professional baseball. I went into the military after my professional baseball career I thought was over. So that's how I ended up in the military, yeah.
Okay. Who is your favorite Bears player, and if you could have them at your cave for a little drink, who would that be?
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton? Yeah, that's a lot of the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Walter Payton, man. I love to sit and talk to Walter Payton. Not even just about football, just about stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just about stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there any other sport that you'd like to learn about that you just don't know nothing about, or like for me it's rugby. I don't know nothing about. I watch it sometimes, but I don't know shit about it, man.
Let's see here. Another sport. Probably be golf.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I learned how I could play golf too.
I think it would have to be golf, because I'm looking at I'm 53, so physically, some things I would love to try to do, but my body is like, no, you're not doing that.
Exactly.
And I think so. Golf would probably be something physically, or tennis or pickleball would probably be something physically that I can get down with and don't have to worry about sitting around with ice on my knees and stuff all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So next question is, have you ever, I might know the answer to this because you said get most of your stuff free, but have you ever had to smuggle a piece in that your wife didn't quite know about how much it cost? Or
Man, yeah. I have done that.
Not trying to bust you out or nothing, though, but
I have a this happened a couple of years ago. I have a McFarland. They call it a Super Chase McFarland. It's a Brian Urlacher McFarland. It's in this case right here. And when the guy offered it, he put it up on eBay, and then nobody bought it on eBay, and then he put it on another site. I can't remember what it was, but I ended up paying like $300 for it.
Oh, did you?
And that's probably one of the most expensive things I have in here that I paid for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That I shelled out the money for is that McFarland. Everything else in here has gained some type of value over time that I didn't pay for. Yeah, that's Alshon Jeffrey's jersey. My son got it at a pressing auction, and I think he paid like a couple of $100 for it. And another thing, bro, I'm a hoarder. I don't get rid of nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At one point I had 4 Gale Sayers jerseys.
Oh, did you?
And just refused to get rid of them. Like, you need to get rid of them. I'll keep it. Put them in boxes. And then I eventually I ran into a Bears fan that I didn't think that would sell it.
Right.
And I sold it. And sold stuff. I sell stuff to people like that. Like, I want to see if you got a man cave, because you're not trying to. I'm gonna sell you a jersey for $50.
Right.
Right. And you're gonna turn around and try to sell it for $200. I think that a true Bears fan will hold on to it. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've had quite a few fans. I don't know. I'm not really fans of me, but just people that follow me that have sent me some cool stuff, and I always try to at least get it in here if I can fit it, because I'm getting out of room, or I'll put it on the outside of my cave. So, but last question we got here for you, man. So if you had to like one other team, is there a secret team you like, or just like you kind of follow them on the side? If it wasn't a Bears fan.
Repeat that one more time. I didn't hear you.
So if you weren't a Bears fan, let's say you had to follow one other team, is there any other team that you kind of follow on the side that you interested in? Are you just 100 on Bears and that is it? 100
on the Bears, man.
Okay.
But right now, this is what I will tell you. Right now, I'm gonna probably be a Steelers fan.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
that's
a
good answer, man.
Steelers now.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel the same way. I hope he kicks some ass there, man.
Yeah. I think the sad thing about what happened to him is People say that he had 3 years. This is true. He did have 3 years.
Right.
But the problem with it is, in those 3 years, it was the Bears were in shambles.
Right.
They gutted the defense. He really didn't have any offensive weapons to throw to. When he finally got an offensive weapon, that dude received for more yards than he ever had in his career. That's DJ
Right.
Moore. And so now you go and you get great pieces to build around a quarterback. Really, that's what you're doing.
Right.
And once they said, you know what, we're going to get rid of Justin Fields, all you're doing is resetting the time clock. Because how many guys want to sit around and lose? Yeah, they're getting paid, but how many want to sit around and lose? Allen Robinson got tired of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at what point do you say, hey, man, we got to stick with this guy until we just know he can't do anything?
Right.
And I don't think that they did that with Justin Fields. Now, here's the sad part. They also did that to Mr. Trubisky.
Right.
And at what point as an organization, and it all boils down to money. You didn't want to pay Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay Justin Fields. That's all it is. And
Yeah.
you know, we got to call a duck a duck.
Right.
You see where I'm coming from? You want to bring in a brand new quarterback, a brand new young quarterback, because all you got to do is pay him the minimum. Brock Purdy has been to 2 Super Bowls. They pay this man $800,000 a year.
Right.
See where I'm coming from? 2 Super
Yeah.
Bowls.
Yeah.
Why would I get rid of him? We're
Right.
going to hold on to him. We're going to hold on to Brock Purdy until we got to pay him. Then when you got to pay him, we'll get somebody else that can fit this scheme.
Right. Yep.
And that's the blueprint, man. Why are you paying Daniel Jones all this money and Josh Allen all this money and all these Kyler Murray? You paying these guys an extreme amount of money and haven't done nothing.
Right.
Brock Purdy over here has been to 2 Super Bowls, man. Probably got more wins than any other quarterback at this stage in his career than any other
Right.
quarterback.
Right.
And you get this man $700,000.
Yeah.
That's theft.
Yeah. And look. I mean, would he be doing that anywhere else? He's surrounded by so much talent. I mean,
it.
it's hard to lose. It's hard to lose when you're on a team like that.
That's
to me.
it. That's it. But at the same time, right? CJ Stroud did the same thing.
Right.
So this is like when people talk about, like, my argument to support Justin Fields is simply this. People think all quarterbacks will come out of college and do what CJ Stroud did. CJ Stroud fell into the perfect storm.
Right.
He got a young coach that's going to let him be free, because that coach don't have no tendencies yet.
Right.
Right? He ain't been around long enough. So he go, hey, bro, go out there and do what you got to do. Sling that motherfucker.
Right.
You know where I'm coming from? And
Yeah.
that's what he did. That's what he did.
Right.
Now take a veteran coach that's been in the league a long time, and look how much they fail.
Right.
They fail a lot because they're trying to implement something to you that you can't do. You just can't. Justin Fields, I heard this stat right here. And you know, people love stats.
Oh yeah.
So they were saying Justin Fields has 10 wins, 28 losses. He had the most time in the pocket, all of this other crap they want to throw out there.
Right.
I told somebody a stat like this on Facebook, and I said, do you realize Justin Fields rushed for more yards in 1 year as a Chicago Bear than he did in his career as a college football player?
Right.
What does that tell you? He's running for his freaking life.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from? And then they said, well, he has a lot of time. I said, well, that's skewed, because what are we talking about? Is it time standing in the pocket? Like, you clocking him standing in the pocket? Or are we talking about the time it took him to move out of the pocket?
Right.
Those are his legs. You don't rush for, what did he rush for? Over 1,000 yards 1 year, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think he went 1,000 yards in 22, and then he went, like, I want to say close to 800 yards this year. Those are running back numbers.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's a top tier running back. You go down to top 10 running backs, you got their numbers. And they like, well, he can't pass. Well, I don't know. DJ Moore might have something to say about that, because he received for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So if a smart person, and I'm not very smart, what I do is I take his passing yards and add his rushing yards to that.
Right.
And now you have overall yards.
Exactly.
But what people do is, he only passed for 147 yards in a game. He threw for 3 touchdowns. Yeah, but how many yards did he rush for?
Right.
You know, that's a combined stat. You know, not to be the dead horse, I wish the best for this dude, just like I was rooting for Mr. Trubisky, but Mr. Trubisky you're not going to go from the Bears to the Bills, sit behind Josh Allen, and think your career is going to be resurrected. You can't do that. Then he went to the Steelers, and he's sitting behind Kenny Pickett and what's the other dude's name? Can't remember the other quarterback. He's sitting behind them. He get a
Rudolph.
chance. He screws it up a little bit, and then they're like, "We're done with him."
Right.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And on a counter note to that, you bring in Russell Wilson, one of the probably hardest guys to even be on a team with, and you compare him with Justin Fields. The only way I think you can get away with that is Justin Fields just has a very, very good attitude.
Right.
You're not going to stick Russell Wilson with Lamar Jackson. Can you imagine
Right.
that?
Oh God, no.
They'll be fighting every day. They walking around with black eyes. You see where I'm coming from?
Or Aaron
stick him
Rodgers.
Come on.
They'd be fighting too.
They have a police station set up at the dang facility. You know what I mean?
Them Eagles get out of hand there.
Oh my God! And I think they did. I think the Steelers stole Justin Fields.
Oh yeah.
And I also think that. Well, we're looking at two different things here. Here's the bad part about the Bears. The Bears bringing a new quarterback because they don't want to pay nobody. Let's call it what it is. You don't want to get that man no money, so you bring a new quarterback. The problem is we're going to be in this same boat. Me and you're going to be in the same podcast 3 years, and we're going to be like, the Bears are looking to draft the number one quarterback because they're going to be in horrible shape.
Yeah.
If whoever they draft doesn't come in and dominate the first year, they're going to fire Eberflus.
Right.
They're going to fire him. So guess what you got the next year?
Another coach.
You got a new coordinator, new head coach. So now you're in year 2. How long does it take to really get used to a scheme? Probably 2 years, right?
Right. So
you're going to come in, and then he's going to be in his 3rd year, and they're going to be like, we're not picking up the 4th-year option.
Right.
We're in the same boat. We're going to be in the same boat. The same thing they did to who? Mr. Bisky.
Right.
They did it to Justin Fields. And Mr. Bisky was a Pro Bowler.
Right. Yeah.
How do you go from Pro Bowl to not having a job?
Yeah.
It's something going on.
It's a vicious cycle of the Bears, man. It's just I call it rinse and repeat. New coach, new GM, new quarterback. Get rid of the quarterback, get a new coach again, and then just keep doing it over and over and over. It's still a vicious cycle, man. It just is old after a while.
Right, and how do we? I heard somebody say something. The Bears are stuck in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you really, when I did this, me and a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, lives in Chicago. We talk on the phone quite often. We talk about the Bears. And I said, the thing about the 85 Bears is they had the best defense you could have ever assembled.
Right.
The best defense, but one of the worst offenses.
Right.
You see where I'm coming from? The defense had, in that Super Bowl run, I think they had, what was it, like 7 shutouts or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
See, so they had 7 shutouts, which means your offense don't have to do very much.
Right.
Right? So you had Jim McMahon as a quarterback. Was Jim McMahon a spectacular quarterback? Nah, I know he wasn't because they don't talk about him in the Pro Bowl. I mean, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So off the offense, they had Walter Payton made the Hall of Fame. Not Dick Buck. Walter Payton made it. Mike Ditka made it. Mark Bortz. They had another guy off that offense that made the Hall of Fame. I think it was offensive lineman.
It was I got his helmet right
Jimbo
over there.
Covert.
Yeah, that's
Jimbo Covert. Yeah, Jimbo Covert. So you had 2 people off the offense that made Hall of Fame, but your defense got 6.
Right. Yeah,
so that tells you something.
Yeah, they carried them.
It tells you something. So that's why I say the Bears are stuck in 85 because to them, can you imagine you own your family has owned the Bears since its existence, 1920.
Right.
You've been through you've been through dad, son, grandson, great-grandson, right? But they all are living off of the 85 Bears.
Right, right.
So anything that they do, it has to equate to or be equal to the 85 Bears.
Right.
Right? Let's build an awesome defense, and we don't worry about the offense because we got to pay them too much anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it feels like they're doing. And for the first time in a long time, because the Bears gave up the number 1 draft pick last year, which was, people say it would have been C.J. Stroud. Nope, it wouldn't have been. It would have been Bryce Young.
Probably, yeah.
That's why they traded for him. So Bryce Young is in a horrible situation. We get DJ Moore. DJ Moore and Justin Fields shows out for the Bears. So then we come into the next year. You have Caleb Williams, Drake May, Daniels, Bo Nix, Mike Penix.
Right.
Those are probably your top 5 guys. And the media in itself is pushing Caleb Williams.
Right.
But if I was a betting man, I think that Drake May would be a better quarterback.
Oh, do you? You don't got that PTSD like me
on the.
You don't got that PTSD like me? Mitch Trubisky.
North Carolina. Well,
Yeah, that
let's talk
connection,
about.
and I just think I feel like that connection, and I mean, I just feel like Bears fans, if we pass on Daniels and Caleb Williams and go May, I mean, some Bears fans are going to flip their lids. I'm just
Right.
saying, I might be
Right.
one of them.
Well, I've heard that. Like I hear this a lot. People say, okay, so I heard the thing. USC doesn't produce good quarterbacks. Well, you have to think about how many coaches have USC had with those quarterbacks.
Right.
You had you had who won the Heisman with them? They won a national championship with man, I can't think of the guy's name right now.
Yeah.
But it was the coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll had a Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
And
Was it
then I
Leinart,
think
was it?
Matt Leinart, right? That was his Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
Then USC had another Heisman Trophy winner under another coach. And technically speaking, Caleb Williams didn't win a Heisman at USC. He won it at Oklahoma.
Right.
So, but they take the same offense over to USC, and they really don't even produce.
Yeah.
So when you say USC doesn't produce good quarterbacks, I don't know if they don't produce good quarterbacks or is it too damn Hollywood.
Right.
You know, the lights are on them all the time, and since the lights are on you all the time, it's more to prove. That's how I
Right.
look at it. You know, you got way more. Justin Fields really didn't have nothing to prove,
Right.
but for damn sure, Trevor Lawrence do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, C.J. Stroud really don't have very much to prove, but for damn sure, Bryce Young does
Right.
because they went number one. So when it comes to that, I just wish the Bears just make the right decision, whatever that is. I don't know. I don't get paid to do that, but
So you
know,
like Drake
because it's
May?
real.
You like Drake
Drake
May
May?
then though? Yeah. Is that who you want?
I just think Drake May would be a better. Honest with you, man. I think out of the top 5 quarterbacks coming out this year, I would have to say Williams, in my opinion, is probably maybe 4.
Oh wow.
I mean, I could take these dice right here and assign each player a number and throw them, and I'm like, they're better than that guy.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think the Bears will pick ultimately?
I think they'll get Caleb Williams out of just straight pressure.
Okay. Yeah, because all the comparisons everybody's making with him.
Right. Well, they have to because you passed on whoever your quarterback was. Remember, they passed on Mahomes.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this. They didn't pass on Mahomes.
No.
They didn't. They picked the best quarterback that the scout said was in the draft, which was Mr. Trubisky.
Which was
so
pressure
they didn't
there
pass
too.
on him.
Right. I think that was pressure too.
Right.
My opinion.
There you go. Like, we got to get him because they say he's the best.
Right.
And damn, bro, I just don't get it because I really haven't seen anything out of Caleb Williams that would say he's generational.
Right.
You know, the guy won the Heisman by default. That Hendon Hooker got hurt. Remember, he tore his ACL. I think he had like 2 or 3 games left, tore his ACL. And then C.J. Stroud got beat by Michigan.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Got to give it to this guy.
Right.
We got to give it to him. So he really won the Heisman by default. So he wasn't even the best quarterback in his conference, man.
Really? Yeah. Bo Nix.
And Mike Penix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I forgot that. Forgot that out there, West Coast there. So.
Right, Mike Penix played in the national championship.
Yeah.
You know,
this is gonna be Pole's biggest decision he's ever gonna have to make, man. It's I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I mean, you already made a tough one, getting rid of Fields. So.
And to be honest with you, man, it's gonna haunt him because all it takes is because we're not talking about next year. Fields ain't the next year guy unless Russell Wilson is just that bad.
Right.
Russell Wilson's job, because the Steelers signed him for a year. His job, and here's the weird thing: the Broncos have to pay that guy $39 million.
Right.
The Steelers got to pay him like what, $1 million, $2 million, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be a coach for $2 million. That plays. He's gonna be a player coach that tells Justin, "Hey, Justin, check this out, man. Did you see what I just ran there? I saw the whatever nickel defense, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. This is how you approach that." Justin Fields right now is in a boat that he should have been in 3 years ago.
Right.
But the Bears got that whack ass damn Andy Dalton.
Yeah, exactly.
You see where I'm coming from?
Stupid.
If
Yep.
he'd have been mentored by somebody, I think he'll be further along because what's his name? Jordan Davis had Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
You know, Pat Mahomes had what's his name? He got hurt.
Yeah, I can't think
I
of his
can't
name
think of his name
offhand.
right now. Dude went through that leg injury, real bad leg
Yeah,
injury.
yeah, yeah.
He had him. And if you notice, the guys that fail normally are guys that don't have somebody in front of them to show them the way, with the
Right.
exception of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
But I
Um,
mean, I can't name a guy. I can't name a quarterback in the past 10 years, probably longer, that did what C.J. Stroud did.
right.
Unless you're talking about like Cam Newton, maybe Cam Newton,
Yeah.
or
Well,
or yeah, I can't even think of nobody that did that.
I know yesterday when I heard that news of Justin, I looked down at my phone and I was like, shook my head, and I got on the. I actually got. I'm gonna get on the phone. I'm gonna call the Pittsburgh Police Department. I'm tired of them robbing us. First Chase Claypool, now Justin Fields. Man, y'all robbing us, man. I mean, I
Yeah,
need to make a police report with Pittsburgh Police on these guys.
right.
They're
They
just tearing
fleeced
us
us.
up.
They
Yeah, they're
fleeced us,
tearing us
man,
up.
and they fleeced us, bro. And
You know,
and the
you know what
sad
I'm
thing
doing from now
about it
on.
is,
You know what I'm doing from now on.
what's that?
If Ryan Poles is looking at his phone and Pittsburgh's calling, don't even answer. Just hit
Don't
ignore.
answer, bro. Put
Block
your
the
fucking
number.
phone in your pocket.
Yeah, block the number because you're about to get fleeced again.
They're gonna get you.
Yeah,
But I really think I'm rooting for him, man. I'm telling you, I'm not taking his jersey off my wall.
right,
I'm not gonna do it, and I'm doing it. And I love the Bears, man. And it's a great thing that we don't play them,
right, exactly.
right? So we got the Bears on this side of the aisle. We got the Steelers on this side of the aisle. I love what Mike Tomlin is doing with his team. Mike Tomlin has been a winning coach for the past, I want to say, 15 years.
Right,
You know, I don't think he had a losing record in 15 years. And a lot of things is going on with the Steelers, man. The organization as a whole are showing, if you stick with somebody, this what can happen. You know what I mean? The
right.
Patriots had it with Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
Uh, but the NFL is so, you know, I guess the best way to put it is they're so millennial.
yeah,
They need the new stuff.
yeah.
And a lot of times, new stuff ain't going to make it. You have all these guys went to division rivals. Saquon Barkley, Eagles. You think Saquon Barkley didn't think about that and the Eagles didn't think about that? It was like, you know
Right.
what? Let's get that guy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You had Kirk Cousins go from the whitest city in America to the blackest.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like dang, this NFL season to me has been this off season been kind of wild.
It is wild. Yeah, Bears been
Yeah,
all
we
the
got
talk, man. I almost forgot the Chiefs won the Super Bowl because all I've heard about is Bears since then.
right. And you know what's funny is nobody cares about the Chiefs,
No, not right now.
and that's why they got to have Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
How do you win and nobody care about you? Like,
Yeah.
man, we just won a Super Bowl.
We talked about it for 24 hours. Talked about the Chiefs for 24 hours, and it was right back to the Bears
If
and the
that, because
draft
they were talking about CJ
nonstop.
Stroud.
Yeah,
They were
true,
talking more
true,
about
true.
CJ Stroud, so they don't care about the win. Can you imagine
Yeah,
if it was, well, CJ Stroud never had to win, beat them to get there, but
yeah.
dang, man, this has been a wild season for me. I really hope, damn, bro, I really hope that Justin Fields show out or get a chance, and I'm just waiting to see what Caleb Williams does.
Is there another
You
player
know,
out there that you want to pick up
um,
in free agency right now?
in free agency, I would love to see us get what we really probably want to get is an intermediate receiver. They got rid of Mooney,
All right.
which was your slot. So, and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore stretch guys, if you ask me. I would probably want to see them pick up somebody that can get the middle covered outside of
Right.
Connect.
I was kind of thinking
Because
kicking the tires of Hunter Renfro.
that wouldn't be bad because he's that
Yeah,
short guy.
a little
He's
slot
that
guy.
short. Yeah, he's a slot guy. The problem with the Bears last year that I saw, they didn't have anybody that could block for the long pass.
Right.
Right. So anytime Justin Fields would drop back, like this is where people say he takes too long to throw. Well, the reason guys run a 40 is to see how fast they get down the field.
Right.
But if that's 40 yards, 4 seconds and 40 yards. But if my defender can get in the backfield in less than 2 seconds, I can't get the ball down the field.
Right.
That's where your blocking back comes in. Or
Oh,
Cole Kmet. Man, that dude Hutchinson made Cole Kmet look like a
Yeah,
bad
he did.
word.
Yeah, he
You
did.
know what I mean? Like he made him look
Yep.
really bad. So you got to have somebody that can block. I don't think people get that. Like how important
Right.
a tight end is outside of because we're so enamored with Gronkowski, Kelsey, uh, all these receiving good hand tight ends. You forget his primary job is to block.
Right. Yep.
You see where I'm coming from? That's what we
Right.
forget. And then you have your running backs. We had Dante Foreman, Khalil Herbert, and I can't think of the other guy offhand right now. But we had 3 running backs that could not block.
Right.
Oh, they could run,
Yeah.
they could tote, but they could not block. Which, if you ever notice, Justin Fields, he'll hike the ball, he'll receive a snap, he'll turn around to like fake the handoff. Right, the back is supposed to come up the chip, but instead of him chipping, the dude is jumping on Justin Fields' back.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how do y'all like, or Cole Kmet is supposed to block. This dude does a swim move and he's on his back. Like, bro, you got to
Right.
block. I don't. He's like more time to what? Sit down. And that's why he ran
Exactly.
the product that way.
Yeah.
But again, we need like Cole Kmet has great hands, but he's not a very good blocker.
Hmm.
Mercedes Lewis was a good blocker,
Yeah.
but he didn't have great hands. So if you saw him in a game, 9 times out of 10 he was going to do what? Block.
Block.
When we go down the
Yep.
field.
Yep.
So we need that. We probably need a back that can block. I don't know about. I don't know how well DeAndre Swift is
Right.
as far as blocking, because I don't watch him. I remember him being a rookie with the Lions, and so I don't know how well he does that. But that's one of the things that the Bears gonna need, because Caleb Williams. I keep saying Caleb Williams like we drafted him,
Right.
but whoever the young guy is that come in, you're gonna need to support him like that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have that support, you're gonna be looking. You're gonna be drafting in 3 years or trying to get a veteran to come in there or something like that. Because
Right.
the Bears, I love the Bears, man. It's proof around you. I
Right.
love the Bears. But what I dislike about the Bears is their infrastructure.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And people like, Poles is cooking. Yeah, man, but you can make moves when you got salary.
Right.
You can make moves. I can go out and be like, you know what? Let me go get Josh, man. He wants $20 million. Let me grab him.
I'll take it.
It's not coming from.
I'll
You can
take
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
But when you don't have money, you can't do it. The Giants in a bad spot. They paid Daniel Jones so much money they can't get money to nobody else.
Right. Yeah.
Which is the reason Saquon Barkley left. Which is the reason the Bears got DeAndre Swift. Which is the reason the Bears got Sweat. Which is the reason
Right.
the 49ers about to lose Young.
Yeah.
They don't have no
A lot of
money.
money.
You know what I mean? And here's the sad part about professional football, not baseball. Baseball got all type of money.
Right.
The Yankees have 27 World Series. They got the highest payroll in all the sports, and ain't won a World Series in 10 years.
Right.
But they got the
It's
money.
crazy. Yeah.
In football, they don't have that luxury. If you are good, your players want to be compensated. If the players want to be compensated, you got to let them go because you don't have the money.
Right.
With the exception of the quarterback.
Yep. Yeah. They seem to
Anybody
get
else, you
their,
got to let go.
and they got to be amazing just to get that second contract. That's worth a lot of money at least.
And I think that the thought process of a GM is, we just paid we paid Eddie Jackson too. We have to get rid of him. We just paid corner. I can't remember his name, man.
Oh, Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. We just paid him. Now, if he comes out next year and pulls a fucking Eddie Jackson on us,
Yeah.
you remember Eddie Jackson got paid. When he got paid,
Yeah. He fell apart.
wait, what the hell is Eddie Jackson? Every time it was a touchdown, he was 2 steps behind the
Yeah. Or whiffing
wouldn't tackle
on tackles.
nobody.
Yeah.
Wouldn't tackle nobody. That man said, I got my money. And honestly, hey man, let's call it duck a duck. That man was like, we
Right.
ain't gonna win anyway, and I ain't sacrificing my body.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get out here and get hurt, mess around with y'all. Y'all want to win? I'm gonna go ahead and get this money, and next year I'm gonna get in free agency, and hopefully I don't look that bad where somebody can sign me for a little cheese, and I can make a little more money.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
all right, man. Before I let you go, last thing I want to get from you is a prediction of what you think the record. Are we going to the playoffs next year? What's the prediction for the upcoming season with a possibly rookie quarterback?
So do I say this as a Bears fan or do I say this as a realist?
Just a realist. Be real with me.
As a realist, I think the Bears will probably win maybe 6 or 7 games.
Okay.
I think whoever we have in there as a quarterback will struggle. And if I had to guess, we will probably go to Badgett at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, I really think so because Badgett to me is a solid piece that you need on a bench because he's
Right.
fearless,
Right.
right? But if you get again, what did I say earlier? Badgett ain't gonna have nothing to prove.
Right.
Whoever you draft, they got a lot to prove.
Oh yeah.
So I think they'll mess around and move to Badgett some part of the year, whether it be a fake injury or whatever it is, and they'll let him play a couple of games and then get that rookie back. But I would say we win probably between 6 and 8 games is what I would say. 6 and 8.
Okay.
I don't think we'll make the playoffs. I think we'll be last place in our division. Take that back. I just thought about the Vikings.
Yeah, they got a worse situation.
I think we'll be either in third. We'll be in third place in our division because we should beat the Vikings. But it's going to be hard to beat an established Green Bay team. And it's going to be very hard to beat an established Lions team.
With the rookie, yep.
Yeah, because we don't know what they're going to get in free agency.
Right.
I don't know I haven't looked at the Bears' schedule, but I'd have to think that, 7 games is probably what we're going to be at. And most of those will be outside of our division.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you being on, man. And, I enjoyed talking to you. I love wanting to see your spot. We're going to definitely talk again during the season, obviously. So tell the people where they can find you at, man, if they want to check out your cave or your woodwork and stuff.
I'm on, if you want to find me on, as far as my woodworking stuff, that's TikTok, Bullets32 Woodworks. And on YouTube, I am Chicago Sports Fan Cave.
Okay. What about, you got Instagram too? That's where I find you.
Yeah, that's Bullets32 also, isn't it? Isn't that Bullets32?
I thought it was Chicago Sports Fan Cave or something like that.
Chicago Sports Fan Cave. Man, I don't even know I got so much.
All right. All right, man. I appreciate you being on, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you. Be safe, all right?
You too. All right. Thanks, Trey, for being on the show. Don't forget to give him a follow on the social medias that he mentioned. And don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts and YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. YouTube and Facebook, we're going to be doing live shows in the fall, so don't forget that. Come watch the live shows. We're going to do some giveaways that are exclusive to those 2 channels, so can't wait to have that this fall. But, yeah, that's what we're doing, man. Anyways, we'll keep growing, keep building, and keep on plugging along, man. So, anyways, you guys have a great night, and bear down. Peace.